Hi there, Walt here. I wanted to share with you just a couple ideas and strategies that we can employ to secure a fee for a buyer representation agreement fee. One, if we need to increase the price of the house. Two, what happens if the house doesn't appraise. And then three, just a restructure of the overall transaction. This is, of course, a topic that has been coming up quite a bit. And this is one that we want to help all of our buyer's agents on because really we believe that a buyer should have representation throughout the transaction. And we want to make sure whether the seller is willing to pay that fee or not, that indeed there's a way to be able to help the buyer's agent collect that fee. So let me just walk through here a couple paths. Now, if we have a list price, let's say that we have a typical transaction of $425, 6.25% interest rate, total payments $2,844, cash to close is $55,570. So that's the typical transaction. The way that it would work, everything the buyer's agent gets paid from the listing agent or from the seller, and everything's great, right? Now, let's just say that for some reason the seller is not willing to pay a buyer representation agreement fee, and so you have to increase the price of the house to cover that. That's one path that you can go. Now, as you increase the price of the house, let's just say that it's a 3% fee that the buyer's agent would be that the buyer's agent would end up collecting. So we'd increase the price of the house to $437.5. Again, interest rate, you're going to notice that the payment has increased by $80, $90 a month, about $80 a month. And so, that can be pretty significant. And if that client is in an affordability issue where maybe they don't qualify over $2,900 a month in payment, then you're going to have an issue. The other issue here is you're increasing the price or you're increasing the closing costs by almost $1,400, $1,500. So again, if they're strapped, then they won't have the ability to be able to do that. So, and then the third issue is what if the house doesn't appraise? So that's one path to be able to go. The second path is let's just say that the house didn't appraise and we had to restructure. At that point, we can go purchase price $425. We can actually, instead of putting 10% down, we're now putting 7% down. The payment still is going to increase $114 a month or so. Cash to close, though, is going to remain, $100 more than where it was before. So that's a viable option if affordability is not an issue. Now, another option would be a complete restructure. Instead of 10% down, we go with 5% down. We buy the interest rate down a little bit. We have that extra monies that goes towards the buyer's commission, buyer's fee, not commission, but buyer's fee, buyer's representation fee. And there you'll notice that the payment is actually $20 under, $18 under, so or whatever that is, $24 under what the original payment was going to be. So now affordability, we've been able to secure. We've been able to keep the cost of the property at the $425, so we don't have an appraisal issue. We don't have an affordability issue, and total cash to close is a little under what it originally would have been as well. So there we're able to create a complete win-win situation just by completely restructuring the transaction. This is really the importance of working with a home loan strategist, somebody who can then create that strategy, a true win-win strategy for the buyer, for the seller, and for you as the buyer's agent. So I hope that you enjoy this. If you have any questions, please reach out, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.